Hi, I'm Madhav Raman from Anagram Architects based out of Delhi and Goa. So our clients are a young family now, sort of fed up with the daily grind, daily traffic, the smog, the pollution of Delhi. And so they managed to get themselves this fairly remote piece of land. This is sort of a agricultural land that is very close to nature. So it was quite clear that this house was going to be sort of a periodically used second home. What you see around you is a fairly unique way of building a home, which is basically 3 pavilions. So there is no one consolidated home or homestead. Our inspiration came from this idea that this was a second home, an escape, a home that needed to be much more a retreat than a residence. So we were inspired actually by the nature you see around you. It's the sound of the crickets, the sound of the birds, the peacocks, the occasional wildlife that encroaches onto this property. A lot of this farmhouse or this sort of residence is essentially prefabricated. The idea was to build something that would be reminiscent of an older way of building, even though we were using technology that was relatively new. I think A-frames are unique. Firstly, A-frames by design make for lightweight roofs. Lightweight roofs immediately reduce the amount of material and energy footprint that any building has. The second is a question of light and a sense of volume. That is perhaps one sort of shift away from the rustic into the urban, is that the sizes and volumes are much larger than what you would expect from a rustic home. So that came in from the industrial prefabricated A-frame. So you'll see a plethora of details that include using stone, using more terracotta-based ceramic materials, using glass, and all these are basically how do you sort of negotiate that barrier between inside and outside. I think people don't realize that we are at a very unique cusp in history right now, where the most innovative material is actually the most ancient. Companies like Simpolo, their entire range is a vitrified ceramic product. Today, between manufacturing and designing, and with ML and AI, you're finding that this idea that you can digitally print onto a ceramic surface and then you're able to add subtle and randomized textures onto it is like path breaking. So I feel that these sort of both micro and macro innovations in surface and tiling industries is actually a huge shift for the entire architecture construction sector. The future is a blur. We used to say present is a blur. When we were taught sustainability, no one questioned time as a factor. I think that's a very important parameter in sustainability. How long are you building for things to last? And how do things die? How do buildings die? I think maybe the future is about the death of buildings.